Me can't talk about my dad without talking about my mom. My mom did a phenomenal job of not letting me hate my dad.
Good day, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new, a warm welcome to you as well. In today's video, we will be hanging out at the pool and talking about how not having my biological father in the home affected my growth in life. I will share some personal experiences, how it affected me emotionally, how I coped with it, and what are my views now that I am a parent. If this is something you're interested in, stay tuned.
So you see the topic, you already know what we're about to talk about. That sounds so funny to say. Anyways, I really wanted to make this video because lately I have been talking to some children at work, especially teenagers, and most of them don't have their fathers in their life. So they're presently in their teens and they feel like this is a big blow to them because their father are not there. And although unfortunately, yes, it can hurt. Yes, it can feel like you were abandoned by a parent, but it's not the end of the world, right? One of my earliest memories of my dad is when I had a birthday party. I think it was around when I was 5 or 6. I would say 5 or 6. And my mom had a birthday party and he was there. So I think my earliest memory of him is at that party. I can remember him showing up and he had gifts and he had a few of his friends there. And that was really like a special thing for me. I was really happy on that day. I think for the most part, when I was talking to my mom, she told me that he was there for most of my events because at the time daddy was on ship, he was working on ship, SS Norway. I still remember that ship, but SS Norway is the ship that he was working on, and I think he was working as a bellboy. And he would always make time to come and visit me when I was younger. So I think that the only thing I remember was that birthday party, but more than likely from what my mom told me, he used to visit more often, especially when Ocheres Primary would have things and he's there on the island, he would come. I knew that my dad wasn't around, obviously, because he did not live with me. And my mom would always say, you know, your dad live in St. Mary. And she would send me there to visit family members. Even if daddy wasn't there, she would still send me because she always thought that I need to know my family. And that was something I cherish about my mom because she did not have resentment. Even if she had it, she didn't show it about any issues that she had with my dad or his family members or whatever. She never showed that to me. So she'll always still send me up there and I'll always spend holidays or spend weekends with my family members in St. Mary. I think my mom kind of conditioned me to that. My mom would still send me to St. Mary on holidays to spend time with his family members. And I also had aunts that were very involved. I had a twin aunt. One of them died, one is still alive. And they really treated me really, really good when I was younger. I'm not saying that they treated me bad as I got older. I think as I got older, I kind of like lost that veil, that childish veil of the person. Like I'm no longer seeing them in a child manner, but now I'm seeing them as adults. But before me stray from this video, because we're focusing on my dad, I was still able to have that idea of, oh, my dad lives in St. Mary, my mom lives in Ochi, and that was how my life was split as a child. It did not affect me negatively that my dad was not there. I feel like one ants jumping on my bra. Anyways, although I did not grow up with my father in the household, there was a lot of things that I wish my dad was there for that he was not. One of the biggest ones was my graduations. I don't think my dad ever attended any of my graduations. From basic school, primary school, high school, university, he never come. He never come. And we talk about this too and laugh about it, but he never come. And I think those were the milestones I really would have wanted him to be there. And I can't talk for him for the reason why he was not there. One of the things I can think about when I was younger is the fact that he was on ship. And now that I'm older and working, like, it's not as easy to get time off or stuff. I am just being the devil's advocate. I'm just saying, like, maybe he requested it off, didn't get it off, right? But for the most part, he wasn't there for my graduation. I don't want to sound selfish and say, oh, I never really thought of it. I really did not think of it. Even though he was not there, I didn't really think of it. I had friends that had both their parents at their graduations, and sometimes you always see it, but me never feel no way at that time, because I guess I had also friends that did not have their fathers there, and some did not have their mothers there. I never feel any type of way, but again, like, now that I'm older and I'm looking at it, I wish he was there for my graduations. My mom always tried to make sure that I spoke to my dad, regardless of anything. Like, she always tried her best to make sure that I talked to my dad. And when cell phone did come into play, like, she'd always call him and let me talk to him. And when you're younger and you know, say your dad and everything, it's like you have that awkward moment on the phone, like, you don't know what to say and you don't know how to talk to him, because, you know, he's not there. You don't necessarily know the man, right? So it's like I will always have those awkward moments where when mommy give me the phone, me don't know how to even hold one conversation. Then me kind of hit high school and the conversations were more like financial. Like, he's supposed to send me school fee money, or he's supposed to send me money for buy shoes, or send money for help with uniform. So, like, those were where the conversations were when we were younger. So it wasn't necessarily like a sit down and talk kind of relationship. And then when he stabilized in the United States and I was able to visit, my mom actually sent me to visit him. And I remember when I first came over and I was visiting him, and we had a little spizzazz, right? Because again, he's getting to know me, I'm getting to know him, and we had like something did happen, and he thought I did something, and honestly, I was pissed. I was so pissed. Like, I was like, send me back to my mother. I was in high school and I was like, send me back to my mother. Send me back home. I remember he was angry. He was vexed too. And I think he was supposed to carry me to SeaWorld. And like, we were on our way to the bus stop to go to SeaWorld. And I made it, I give him straight attitude. And he was like, oh, you don't want to go? And I'm like, no, I don't want to go. And in camera back home, left me at the yard and gone about in business. And when I tell you I did a hot, because I was like, imagine my mother send me over here to spend time with this man, and this man thinks and me do something when me never do something, and because you're a child, you know, they don't really listen. So it's like, I was like, really? May I laugh about it? No. But I will even talk about it in adulthood. Me say, you remember when this happened? And he's like, oh, you know, I laugh it off. If you know my daddy laugh a lot, but a lot of things, okay? So that did happen. And at that moment in time, I was so furious, but I've never hated him. Although that was something that happened between us, I never hated my dad for that situation that occurred. Now, although my father was missing in action, I got a stepfather a few years after. So my stepfather was like there from I was a child up into adulthood. And I never called him daddy. I never wanted to misconstrue that. I actually wanted to keep boundaries as a child. And not necessarily as a child. I think mommy was like, you know, this is your stepfather. So I was not one of those people that called him daddy, although he was a father figure in my life, because I knew who my father was. So I never ever said or called him daddy. I knew who my daddy was. I just called him by his name, and I showed him respect as a father figure in my life. And I think being there, he showed me a lot of things growing up. So although my dad was missing, I had somebody that I could look up to as I was growing up. My daddy, although he was missing, he still provided me at times financially. We did have moments as I got older where we talk, and now we're like friends. in adulthood. So we're like really good friends. I go to his house, he comes to my house. But as a younger child, my stepfather did play a great father figure in my life growing up. Right now, you may be feeling, or in the moment, you may be feeling like, why is my father not here? He should have day here. Why me? I have to grow up without a father. Why me this? Why me that? Right? But honestly, thinking back for me personally, my dad not being present didn't affect my life negatively or positively. Like I call it a little neutral thing, because at this present moment and looking around and looking back on my life, I turned out pretty well. Like I made a lot of mistakes growing up, but at the end of the day, I learned from a few of them. And in this life, we're always growing, and we have to take responsibility for the our life, or the way our life is going to go. We can't keep blaming whether our parents wasn't there, whether our father wasn't there, whether my mother did for do this and my mother never do it, or your father did for do this and he never do it. We have to be accountable, because whatever our parents could have taught us, when you grow up, you have books where you can learn from. Now you have YouTube University. Now you have people that you can learn from. If you go college, university, you can meet people, you can learn from them in life lessons or life decisions or whatever. I learned a lot from co-workers. I learned a lot from people that I meet when I go to certain events. So at the end of the day, I don't look back and blame my father for being absent, because I think he did what he know how to do, because there's no blueprint of how to be a parent. And I can only imagine my father maybe growing up with a father where maybe never teach him certain things, and maybe never teach him say he's supposed to do this, or teach him say that not supposed to do. He was going off of maybe what he saw around him, or what he think was right to do. So me can't go blame him for that. Like even with my mom, like my mom do her best by what she knew. She never get one book and just a follow a book, or somebody never give her instructions and she follow the instructions. No. And along the way, me can look back on it and say, my father should have do more. But even if me look back and say should have do more, it already gone. The time when could I intervene already gone. So me not really blame him on how certain things happen in my life. I think things happen how it should happen. And I can say this, like I remember when I was in high school and I was supposed to buy, I don't know if a school shoes, or I did my school fee did for pay, something to that effect. I remember calling my father, I call my father, my father not answer. And me did start get anxious, because in my mind it's like, how me gonna go to school, how me gonna do this, how me gonna do that. And mommy don't have the money, and mommy don't do this, and mommy don't have that. And either way, my mother did figure it out. Like she had to figure it out. I may end up go to school. And I remember at a point where I said, when me grow up, me would have never want to depend on somebody financially. And I think my dad being absent pushed that. And I also saw my mother have to figure out things and do things on her own without no assistance from other people. Or even if she got assistance, me never know, because she did not tell me that. Me did in a one child's place. Honestly, my dad being absent made me into the toxic, independent person I am. I don't ask people for help. If I ask you for help, if you any day you hear me ask you for help, I dead. Me can't find no other way, and you should be concerned if Nisian come and ask you for something, because I don't ask. Me not ask. If me come and ask you for help, especially financially, I am dying. I am dying, and you need to send help. Send help. There was a point where, and I don't think it was when I was younger, it's when I was older, I was like reflecting on like if I missed out on anything growing up because daddy wasn't there. And honestly, I don't think I missed out on anything, because my mother did such a good job of teaching me to learn to like satisfy. Like what we had was what was there, and what was there is what you had. And you know, if you read yeah nobody, you know, if you look on people things and things say you want it, think of it in a way where one day you're gonna have it. One day you're gonna figure it out and you're gonna have it. And I remember growing up and knowing or feeling like, yeah, one day when me grow up, me gonna have it. Me gonna have all these things where me there I look on or admire. So me never think say me didn't miss out on anything. I think my mother did a really good job of letting me understand that, you know, this is your life and it is what it is. It kind of was. It is what it is. Like she couldn't afford to give me any more than what she did give me presently. So maybe kind of just suck it up and just deal with it. What are you going to do? Beat yourself up every day? Even as an adult, when stress will lick you have to figure it out. I don't know if I explained that pretty well, but at the end of the day, you can't say my father shoulda, woulda, coulda. It already happened. The moment is already gone. And one of the biggest thing is never, ever, ever blame yourself because there's a parent that is absent. I've never necessarily blamed my father for not being there. And I think most of it is because in my mind, everybody was in survival mode. Like my dad was in survival mode, my mom was in survival mode. Everybody was kind of tunnel vision on their life and their goals. And although because I was present in my mom's life, I had to be a goal for her, and I wasn't present in my dad's life. So I don't think at the time I was a goal for him. So I don't blame him for being absent. I think he was actually very young and still trying to figure out things in life. And it may have taken him a while, but he eventually did figure it out. And know me and my dad, cool. We're cool like that. And I always say this, my mom did a phenomenal job. We can't talk about my dad without talking about my mom. My mom did a phenomenal job of not letting me hate my dad. Like she never ever talked ill of him, never talked bad of him. I remember even when me I call him and he not answer, mommy I say, oh intense man. But she's never called him out of his name, and she's never said anything that would make me feel this man wicked or whatever. No, she never do that. So me never ever blame myself like me being born was the reason why he's absent. Me never ever think like that. My mother did not give me a reason to feel like that. And even in the moments with my dad present, he never gave me a reason to feel like that. So I've never blamed myself. So if your parents never give a reason, even if they give a reason, fuck them. Like if your parents are telling about say, oh, are you make me not do this, are you make me not do that, that's on them. You never did there and assist them to make you. Like we come into this world and we are dependent on them. Like, and I understand that a lot of parents are not responsible and don't take accountability for their actions as parents or things that they should have or could have done. Because my dad said he could have done more. He tell me all the time, he say he should have done more and he could have done more. And you know, unfortunately the time has passed, but no, I think he does so much regardless. He does things for me, he gives me things, he always give me things. He always give Azalea things, always give Azalea money for her birthday. So he's a very present grandfather. And I will laugh and say this, my parents are better grandparents than they were as parents. Don't blame yourself if an if a parent is missing in action. That's not your fault. That is not your burden to carry. Never ever take that upon yourself. That is not your fault. If they wanted to be there, they would be there. And you know, so every Father's Day, I still call my father or I text my father. And my father is not a man with big fan like those kind of celebrations, but you can show how appreciative he is of those little moments when I call him or text him. And Lady B, that's his name for me. Or any, I think all his daughters is called Lady B, and because our last name is Barif, so Lady B. And you always hear how appreciative he is, and anything you do for my dad, I think he's just grateful. He's forever grateful. And I've never seen him angry. That's concerning. I've never seen that man angry. I've seen him frustrated, but I've never seen him angry. And frustration was that one single time when we had that disagreement. But On Father's Day, I always text him, and I always either I text him or I call him, depending on if I'm working or not. With my dad not being present in my life, I think as it relates to trust, I did not trust anybody. And my relationships showed that. Like, I didn't trust people to stick around. Even if I had a boyfriend, I didn't think that it was going to last. I didn't take it serious because there was not a bunch of people in my life who didn't married, when we could have look up to or whatever. So I didn't necessarily trust anyone. And when I was younger, I did not want a child. I always told myself, like, I don't want to raise a child without a parent. And then based on how relationships are, sometimes, you don't have one of the parents or the other parents, from my experience growing up, and I did not want that for my child. So I said I never wanted a child. And also, when it came on to trust, it was hard. When I met Ryan and we established that we were in a serious relationship, I still never trust him. Like, me did one of them people there where I crack people phone and I go in it, and me did determine for catch you. When me and Ryan decides I was serious, me did determine for catch you say you do something, because everybody do something. And that me always tell myself, everybody do something. I have grown from that. I think for a lot of parts, just did not trust anyone really when it comes on to relationships, especially in college. I kind of made peace with my father not being in my life when I was around the end of high school. The end of high school, me kind of make peace with the fact that he's not there. And me kind of understand that, he's not going to be at every celebration. He's not going to be at events. He's not going to be at gatherings. Me kind of didn't make peace with that. And over time, it just become like, oh, my dad just the dear sir, me the here, so kind of thing. And that is where the relationship, not relationship, but I think that's where I kind of just say, you know what, it is what it is. I didn't grudge nobody for them having their father present in their life. Me never feel jealousy in that area. I never felt like, oh, daddy should have there. No, I made peace with that, I think, around the end of high school. When it comes down to forgiveness, like if I forgive daddy for not being present, yeah, I forgive him. Like, I'm a daddy. And if I did not forgive him, that would be me carrying around a baggage that would be too heavy for me to carry, due to the fact that I have a life to live of my own. I forgave him for not being present, because at the end of the day, he made it right. As I got older, he made it his duty to be present in my life. I put some effort in also being a daughter by moving to Orlando, moving closer to him where he was living. When I was living in Orlando, he lived like 12 or 13 minutes from me. And I made it my duty to go and visit him, especially when I'm off, and sit and talk with him. Even if we're not gonna wear or do nothing, me making my duty to build a relationship with him. And because of that, no, we have a great relationship. We don't live as close now, but we still have a relationship where we visit each other and we still hang out. I don't think my dad being absent made anything different, like being there or not being there. I think with this human experience, everybody's life is going the way it should go. Some people for good, some people for bad, some people neutral. At the end of the day, I don't think he could have done anything differently, and I don't think my mom could have done anything differently. I think they did what they're supposed to do to let me reach where I'm at now in life. I think both of them played their role very, very well. And I'm grateful every day for the role they played in my life, whether big, whether small, whether sometimes, whether now in adulthood. I think they both did what they needed to do to get me to where I am at right now. Being a parent now, I tell myself all the time that I am going to be present in my child's life, whether I'm going to be present doing it tired, doing it nervous, doing it anxious, whether she wants to show up somewhere and I don't want to be there, I'm still going to show up regardless. So one of my biggest thing is that I build memories, a lot of memories with Azalea. Sometimes I can't get the energy to drive to Disney and deal with that large crowd. So what I do is I say, let's go to the community pool. I say, let's go to the state park and we'll walk around, or we'll go to the playground. So I do a lot of things to create memories with her as a parent, because I realized that I did not have much of that as a child. And I want to make sure that I do that for her. That is why you see me doing extracurricular activities with Azalea, because again, want to be present, want to make sure that she's active, want to show her that her parents are showing up for her even at her very young age. Because I want to let her know you have support. Even if you don't have support in friends at school or other family members, your parents are gonna always be there to support you. So she do taekwondo, no longer in taekwondo. She's doing swimming now. And now that she's doing swimming, I feel like, okay, we're going to carry her to the community pool and we're going to practice all the things she's learned. And she's doing amazing at swimming. Okay, we're going to do art class. Art class is just a fun activity. It's learning how to be creative. It's teaching them how to socialize with other kids, because they do play games in there and interact with each other. So even if they're shy, it pushes them to talk up. And I love that for her. So as a parent, the biggest thing I can say that I'm doing right now is being present and listening. We're all growing as a parent. So sometimes I have my days when I'm really short with her, but I would explain to her why I was short. Not saying that's right, but I'll explain to her. I give her a rationale, even when I say, Azalea, stop doing that. It's not just stop doing that. It's stop doing that because you're going to do this. Stop doing that because you're going to mess up the room and you're not going to want to clean it up and you're going to get frustrated when I talk to you. Pick up after yourself because you're making clutter. And when you make clutter, it makes the place look untidy. Giving her a rationale for the things I'm telling her to do or telling her not to do. So that is my thing that I'm doing in parenting, that I'm trying to continuously build on. And there's other things, but we're not going to go too deep into that. But as a parent, I'm trying to make sure that she understands why things are being done and why things are not being done. As we're coming towards the end of this video, the biggest thing I want to say is, if you don't have your father present in your life, that is okay. You can't make them be present, especially if they're not doing the footwork to be in a relationship with you. You can just focus on yourself. When they're ready, they will make time. And at that time, try to be open to them. Try to have conversations that kind of make you understand why you were not there, or if they were there, if they were not there, why they didn't try to reach out, why they didn't try to have a relationship. And sometimes you'll be amazed of the things you find out, because you have some parents or some mothers that hold back the child away from the other parent, or mother or father can do it, but you have parents where shun the other parent because they moved on in life, or they achieved certain things, or they moved on too quickly and they kind of become bitter parents, and they want to burn the other parent, and when by burning the other parent they end up burning the child. So to me, if you don't have a father in your life right now, don't look at it in a negative light, but look at it in a positive light, in a way where you guys both have to do the footwork to build a relationship. And if that person is not willing to do the footwork with you, you have to focus on yourself and making peace with that, and be open when they are ready to have that conversation, or be open to when they're ready to have a relationship with you. So that is my advice to you if you don't have your parents in your life at this point. And funny enough, when I was thinking about making this video, I always was saying that, like, we don't talk about this enough. Like, we don't talk about all those people that are growing up without a parent. Or in my case, I didn't grow up with my father. And one of my girlfriends, when I was talking about the idea of doing this video, she was like, I couldn't tell that you didn't grow up with your father. Me that thinks you grew up in a 1-2 parent household. Nah. I actually grew up in an extended family. So I had a bunch of cousins, uncles, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles that lived in the house with me. So I had a lot of people present in my household. But I still didn't have my father present. I can only thank my mom for that, for all she's done. And I thank my dad for all he's doing now, and also all he had done in the past. I must say, I'm still vexed with you because you did there Jamaica when me I graduate from UA and you never come. You, sir, you, sir. I really love my dad and I love our relationship that we have now. And every time I think about, oh, I'm going to look for my dad, I'm always happy. Azalea, even happier. Okay? I think a lot of people don't want to talk about it because there's some shame with it. Oh, you know, grow up with your father, you know, father not dead and stuff like that. So maybe people don't really want to talk about it. I'm here to tell you it's okay. My dad was not present. I made a lot of mistakes, and there's people that have their father present in the house, and then still I make mistake. So at the end of the day, it is okay. It is okay. You don't have to worry about not having this, not having that. Everything will come in due time. You have to do the work though. You have to make your life what you want it to be. You can't blame your mother, you can't blame your father, you can't blame your sister, you can't blame nobody. You can only blame yourself if you reach a certain level in life and you think that, oh, you still not have this and you still not have that because of your father. No, you can't think like that. Why you gonna think like that? And it took me a lot of footwork to get to where I'm at now. It took me and both me and my father, it took it two away to keep that relationship going. Whether it be calling each other to talk, calling each other, texting each other on important days like birthdays, Father's Day, daddy text me on Mother's Day, he never miss a beat, holidays. It takes both of you to make it work. So you can't live your life and there I blame your father till the end. Yes, they should have done what they needed to do. However, they never do it. So that is not your burden to carry. Let them deal with that regret. Let them deal with that. That is not your burden to carry. And trust me, having a conversation about these things will even alleviate a lot of the stress or the feeling of, oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know? A lot of it can be alleviated with a conversation. And that's what happened to me. I talked to my dad about a lot of things that, you know, randomly me give my dad the therapy session. Like, Daddy, so what you did think about your father growing up? What you think your father should have do? So, and his dad died when he was young, like 20s or teens. I don't remember. But his father did dead when he did a work on ship. So it's like at some point he was growing up without his dad and he was a father. And that to me was something that he was processing while having me and also my older sister. So I think he had his load that he was carrying and he was working through that while trying when he could to be present for me. And then again, my father never split in life because he did have my older sister and then he have me. So he's still the a young father with two kids. That is a lot. Okay. So I can just imagine when him did young and want go party and want go do this and want go do that. And you know, maybe the guilt. You even maybe if people go out, even if he did go out and something, maybe still did also have guilt of doing these things and knowing they have kids and stuff. So in life turn out how it needed to turn out and mine turn out how it needed to turn out. And now we both did the work to know where we have a relationship and I love it. I love my daddy and I wish him so many good stuff. I wish him I can't ever say daddy I live right now. Daddy I live him best life and I love that for him. He has moments where he go out and he hang out with his friends and he have people when talk to, people when do stuff with, and I love that for him. And he has a partner that he does stuff with. He has a partner that, appreciate and show love to him. And I'm happy for him. So yeah, I go swim now. I go swim. I talk up a storm. So now I go swim. And the water looks so nice. The water looks so nice. I go swim and splash and relax and enjoy my little day today. Cause yesterday I worked. So now I have today off. So I'm just gonna enjoy myself and read my little book. I am still reading my book. And after that, I'm gonna wash my hair and then I'm gonna pick up Azalea. So yeah, let me go or let me let you guys go and have a wonderful day. Bye.